This is Joe Crispin, former Penn State and professional basketball player. You are listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast.
I think you said that he could have gotten more separation.
There were some technique fundamentals in receiver that weren't perfect in the 80s. I had to throw in a few points of criticism.
What was it like playing in March Madness? I mean, we have it going on right now.
But playing there was amazing. I mean, like, that's kind of your whole goal is to just be a part of that. It's such a special thing where the whole country is tuning in and anything is really possible, you know.
You know, my optimistic side said, like I said, that we're going to be okay. We just had a bad game. We were probably experimenting a little bit, ran into a good team. So.
If Miami came to our house, we would probably, if anything, win. We wouldn't get blown out.
When you first started playing football, you know, did you always want to play in college?
No, I was growing up. I was a big baseball guy. Loved baseball. And then 8th grade, I remember I got a call from my uncle, Coach Nagel. He's like, hey, I got the job. And I was just like, all right, I'll play football for you.
You are listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast, a podcast by diehard fans for fans. It's as honest and as raw as sports talk can be. Thank you for listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast.
Hey, everybody, this is Greg Garrity.
So Anthony Lottie will punt it away from the 41. Greg Garrity is the deep man for Penn State at the 10-yard line.
Former Penn State receiver and 2016 Big Ten champion. You're listening to the best Penn State Nittany Lion podcast, the Mark Lesko Podcast.
All right, everybody. Welcome back into another episode of the Mark Lesko Podcast, talking Penn State football. Again, talking the latest news. There isn't like too much groundbreaking to talk about. The thumbnail is, and we're not live, but I'll probably play this live. But the thumbnail is it make or break for James Franklin, 2025. Tom Hannafin was talking about how there's a lot of people saying there was a writer that said if James Franklin doesn't win in 2025, he'll get fired. I think it's a very important season. I don't think he'll get fired if they don't win, but it is a very important season. There's a lot on the line.
Yeah.
So if there's any year to do it, it was either this year or next year. I did say last year that I give Franklin 2 more seasons. If he doesn't win at all, then I don't know when it's going to happen, man, with all the talent he has from the 22 class with Drew Aller. So this is my 3rd episode. So in 2 days, I'm doing 5 episodes. I almost was going to do 6, but this is my 3rd one. So if I if I seem a little out of it, that's why. I just did the Super Bowl episode, did Penn State basketball earlier. I'll probably post this in a couple days, Brett. But and I also passed out last night, so while I was live, so literally fainted. So still kind of feeling the ramifications of that a little bit. But yeah, man. Jim Knowles had his introductory press conference. So you know, what are you thinking? What are you thinking right now, Brett? Do you think next year is make or break for him?
I mean, there's 2 different sides to look at it, you know, like if it's like a complete failure in 2025, like I'd say anything more than 3 losses, like something like that would be like an epic failure for the staff we have for one, and then the roster. So if it comes down to like a heartbreaking loss again, like this past season, yeah, we'll be even more heartbroken and upset by that happening back-to-back years. But I don't know. Like you said, I don't think he would be fired from that. But it would still be a failure. It wouldn't be an epic failure, but it'd be a failure. So there's just like different ways to look at it. If we can beat like a top 5, top 10, some top 5, top 10 teams next year, like you want to see progress, right? If there's no progress happening soon, then I agree. Like you're gonna have to figure something out. But at the same time, what short list of head coaches are we going to be able to get? Right? Like, I'm sure we could get somebody, but like somebody who's going to be an upgrade, not many people are on the table, man. It's a very short list. So, I mean, we've talked about it before, but when it comes to Jim Knowles' press conference, I thought it was good. He's the complete opposite of Tom Allen. You know, he's more similar to Manny Diaz in the way he talks and carries himself. He's more meticulous with how he answers things. He doesn't talk 600 miles a minute like Tom Allen. He doesn't have the same upbeat energy as Allen, but he has positive energy that you can tell it's coming off of him. So I'm sure he's great with the kids, with the players and everything. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I mean, you can tell he spoke to James Franklin and the staff before he did the press conference. It was well calculated, but at the same time, I thought it was cool how he was like, I want to win a championship with Penn State. I want to help. And that's not something any other coach has said coming into Penn State. No new coordinators have said that. James doesn't even openly say that like that. He says one game at a time, 1-0. And of course, Knowles is going to follow that whole process like James does. But the fact that he spoke about wanting to win a national championship with Penn State and he's glad to be here, I thought that was a nice little touch to something I didn't know I would hear from him. So, I mean, I think 2025, Josh Pate talked about it. If you're a Penn State fan, is it okay to be excited? Yes, of course it's okay to be excited. There's just until something new happens, you can't preseason rank number 1 Penn State. Like, I know certain people are doing that. I don't like that just because we got to win at the highest level to be ranked 1. That's how I feel. Top 3, like 3 or 4, I think that's completely necessary. I think we're a top 3 or top 4 team, especially roster, right? We just have to finish out those close games. So, yeah, lots to be excited about. And there's not going to be a lot happening right now to begin with. Like you were saying, it's quiet right now because February is the dead period. The coaches can recruit, I think, face calls, like FaceTime and stuff, but you can't go on the road and do any recruiting right now. So that's why you're going to see a lot of commitments in February, because a lot of kids took some unofficial visits and stuff like that in late December and early January and stuff. So now they're getting ready to commit for the 2026 class. Not sure if we'll get any this month, but something to keep an eye out for, and I can definitely let you guys know if I hear anything. So
yeah, you have good sources. Yeah, man, I like his press conference. He spoke about Penn State, Pennsylvania, being a fan, wants to win a national title.
Yep.
I didn't watch the whole thing. Did they ask him about Ohio State at all? Like why he left?
No, they didn't ask him that. They just kind of asked him why he wanted to come to Penn State. They didn't really ask why you left Ohio State. I guess you can take it both ways in the way they asked the question, but he just said he appreciates everything that Ohio State did for him, and he appreciates what did they say? He just appreciates the staff there and how everything went down. But yeah, he's not going to bring up the nitty gritty I was fighting with Larry Johnson Sr. and me and Ryan Day were butting heads. He's not going to say that. So, obviously. But yeah, I mean, he had a good press conference.
Yeah, I wish they would have asked him about that, but at the end of the day, man, he's here. He's with us now, which is great. But I just think that he's a good addition. He's excited to be here. He fits in with Penn State well. He's already got the Penn State stuff on. And I don't think it's make or break for James Franklin, truly. He's not going to get fired, but if he can't win a national title or at least appear in one with this talent next year, I think some questions definitely need to be answered. and some moves need to be made because it's like you have everything, man. You have a second-year coordinator in Kotelnicki. You have probably the best defensive coordinator you could have gotten. Fresh off a national title, you got all this talent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're not going to win now, then win. That's the question. So that's the question that I would ask.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. If they don't win it next year, like, when will they win it? You know?
It's hard to say. It's we have a lot of after this year we'll have a lot of young players. But at the same time, that doesn't mean those young players could step up and be really good. And we could have a really solid team. But we already know the receivers are only going to get better as 2026 and as time goes on, because we have some studs that came in that just need time to put some weight on or cut up a little bit and learn how to be in college. But we're getting bigger bodied receivers and just a different type of receiver. No, basically, since 2021, we've been getting a bunch of Caden Saunders body types, just smaller guys, just good out of high school, but just didn't really work in college, and also injuries for that guy specifically. But we're getting different type of recruits now. They just need some time. We don't have any Jeremiah Smiths in the building. Nobody really does. That dude's insane. There are some freshman receivers that had good seasons last year that weren't on Ohio State, but nobody like that guy. So, yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, Matthew Otten or Jeffrey Exeter or any of these guys could step up and surprise us. We don't really know until it happens. That's why the offseason's cool, because it's the unknown, and once the season happens, you might hear some whispers in fall camp or spring ball or something about a new player, and that's exciting once that happens. Right now, we're about to head into winter workouts, so these young cats are gonna understand what it's really like working out and going crazy with the cardio and all that stuff. So it's exciting stuff. But yeah, like you're right. 2025 is it also depends. If we can win the regular season, like do really good, it depends what type of draw we get, man. Because this 12-team playoff, it worked out for us this last season with the draw we got. Don't see us being that lucky again, So like, if we draw like two heavyweights the first two rounds, yeah, you got to beat who you're playing. But having a harder path is going to make it harder to get to the title game. So we got to be ready to go. We have one of the most experienced and best staffs in the country this year. We have a top-notch staff right now. Even before we got Jim Knowles, we had a very good staff. And now that we have Jim Knowles, top 3 staff in the country, top 2, maybe the best one, not even being biased, just factual. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questions that we have to ask right now, and we're not going to get a lot of answers for a while. So we're going to be talking and just just hoping for the best.
Yeah, so we got, as you can see, the schedule: Nevada, FIU, Villanova, bye week, Oregon at home, at UCLA, Northwestern at home, at Iowa, bye week, at Ohio State. So again, we get 2 bye weeks before our hardest opponents, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Indiana, Michigan State, Nebraska, Rutgers. So, like, Indiana could be a sleeper. Michigan State could be a sleeper. Nebraska could be a tough opponent.
I'm glad we played Nebraska, dude. When's the last time we played them? Like 5 years ago? 6? It's been a long time.
It was probably a while ago, yeah.
A long time ago.
Like at Michigan State, that could be our Minnesota from this year, where it's like, oh shit, we almost lose.
Because they're going to be better. They have a new coach from last year, Jonathan Smith. So
and Signetti's coming in.
Yep. He's ready to go.
Yeah, man. Starting out here pretty favorably. Few factors, got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Our whole team, hopefully. We lost Kevin Winston and stuff this year.
Yeah. Play some younger guys the first 3 games, get them some reps.
Yeah. We do have a lot of young talent coming in too, man. I mean, it's there's a lot of factors here for Penn State. Can we stay healthy? Can we make the most of our roster? But we got Kyron Hudson, we got Devontae Ross, Anthony Ivey, Peter Gonzalez, Tysier Denmark, Liam Clifford, Caden Saunders. And then our line's pretty stacked. Drew Shelton, Egan Boyer behind him, Javen Williams, Vega Ione, Nick Dawkins, and then TJ Shanahan backing him up. We got Birchmeyer, we got JB Nelson, we got Cooper Cousins, who is starting at right guard right now. Nolan Rucci coming back, Anthony Donka, Malachi Goodman. And then tight end room, we got Luke Reynolds, Sakilo Dinkins, Andrew Rappelier, Joey Schlaffer, Tyler Warren left. Drew, Ethan, Jackson Smolik, Jack Lambert. Grunkmeyer could be our next guy. And then we got,
I'm excited for Grunk.
The next set of guys coming in then. Then we got Nick, Singleton, Catron, Corey Smith, Quentin Martin. That's a stacked running back room right there. My God. Yep. Who else do we have?
Cam Wallace.
Back? Who?
Cam Wallace, but we don't know how bad is that injury was rough, man. You remember seeing that?
Yeah.
There were like 3 O linemen or a couple linemen fell on like his ankle area.
I was at that game.
Rough.
His ankle was pretty messed up. I think it's his ankle. But we still probably don't know.
He's walking around, but
Zane Durant, Caleb Artis, Smith Vilbert, Tony Rojas, Dom DeLuca, Elliot Washington, Kenny Wosley, Tamir Robinson, Keon Wiley. But the thing is, man, like at the end, we also have a Nye White too. Max Granville's in there. Owen Waffle, Ty Blanding, Alonzo Ford is coming back. Zariah Fisher, Jalen Harvey.
You know who we haven't talked about, and we're still waiting for him to announce it? Amin Vanover, dude. He could come back. I think he's coming back because he hasn't announced going pro yet, and everybody else did. You know what I mean? So that would be huge. Amin Vanover? That'd be huge because
I don't see him on here.
He's not on there?
Where would he be?
Defensive end. Edge. Did he leave?
I don't see him.
I'll have to ask my source what's going on. He would know. I haven't talked to him about him, so.
Your source?
Yeah, I'll have to ask him.
Because then we got Elliot Washington, Dom DeLuca as well. DeJuan Lane, King Mack came back. Vabu Torrey, Zakee Wheatley is a freak. AJ Harris is a freak. Zion Tracy is a freak.
We're loaded in the secondary. We are.
Zion Tracy had that pick 6 against Ohio State. Colin Dinkins, Davian Collins. But then you got John Mitchell, Lamont Payne Jr., Belgrave Shorter.
I like Davian Collins. He's gonna be legit.
Yeah,
he has some good plays.
Then Ice is coming back, I think, right? Yep, Ice is coming back. Ryan Barker. So, yeah, man, we got the talent. James Franklin's a player's coach. They got NIL is growing and growing. Matt was texting me today about an event he's going to in McAllisterville. I guess Nick's going to be there.
Shout out to Liam Clifford. Saw him today.
Yeah. I saw Zane Durant. By the way, what would you?
Was he just up at Brickhouse
if you saw him or what?
Oh yeah, dude. He seems like a chill dude. Was he at Brickhouse when you saw him? Was he like just insane?
Yeah, dude. He's
built like a Brickhouse, dude.
And again, I'm 6'1" with shoes on. I'm 6'2", 260 now. I was 270.
He's 6'1", 290.
And I see him, and I'm like, but yeah, he's a big guy. He's usually got this girl with him, like this little blonde girl. Must be his girlfriend. But anytime I see players like that, I usually don't say anything. But if we start talking or whatever, I'll be like, yo, like, you're my favorite player.
Yeah.
I usually, because they probably get so many people coming up like, yo, man, what's up?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
nothing wrong with saying hi to him.
No, yeah. I said, hey, good luck this year, man. He said thanks.
But Quentin Martin and Nick Singleton will be kick returns. Zion Tracy's punt return.
Yep.
Dude, Quentin Martin, man, he's built. Like, he reminds me. I'm trying to think of who he reminds me of. He's kind of built a little bit like Evan Royster.
Well, he's tall. He's 6'1" for a running back. Like, he's a tall running backs aren't that tall usually, so he's pretty tall.
Silas Red, like, he's got some good legs on him. He's got he's got a good build.
Yeah. He's gonna put on some more weight too. Watch.
Yeah,
because he's not super heavy, but he's cut. You know how he's built? He's built like Journey Brown. He's built like Journey Brown. That's who it is. Journey Brown was kind of taller, leaner. Journey Brown was a freak, man. The fact that he had to retire was just
Stephon Green too.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, with the roster, with the coaches we have coming in, it's a good setup right now.
Yep.
I just think with Jim Knowles as the DC now, like, we're really, really solidifying ourselves. Like, we're good there, because that's a great hire.
Yep.
And it's bonus that he's a PA guy, Philly guy, likes Penn State, wants to win a national title. And you said that you were saying how he said he wants to win a national title.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Like, a lot of coaches don't say that. That should be their only focus, because if you win a national title, clearly you're helping kids. First and foremost, as a coach, you want to be a molder of men.
Yeah.
But then you want to win a national title. And you get there by developing these kids as best you can, keeping them out of trouble, stuff like that. But
and they all want to. It's just they don't say it out loud like that. And I thought it was cool that he implemented that in his press conference, and he said it a few times. So I thought that was pretty cool. And we could talk about how he spoke about how he was going to implement a system. I thought it was really cool how, add A, work on it, add B, add A, B, C, and so like just add a little bit. He said what Franklin does on defense, like the culture here, it's already good. Can we make it better? Sure, we'll do that. But he's not going to just change the whole system right away, because doing that in 1 year, that's very hard. So he's going to add some stuff, keep some stuff that works, because obviously we have a good defense. So I thought it was cool how there's going to be wrinkles here and there, just added, and it's just going to work out so you don't overwhelm the guys. You don't overwhelm the players on implementing a new system. So I thought that was smart, and that's the way it should be right now. So
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, man, like, the fact that he's gonna be a good fit, he has the same defense, and again, he just came off a national title. I mean, what more could you want? Seriously. Like, at the end of all the pomp and circumstance, that's what we got. I mean, he's probably the best guy we could have gotten.
Yep.
So yeah, I to speculate more on that, I just don't think we really need to. There's baby Saquon back in the day.
The GOAT. Look at that pick, man. He knew he was gonna be the GOAT. Like, he's just chilling. Like,
I'm gonna be a G, man. Look at him.
Yep. And now he is.
He's the real deal, man.
Like, just as a person, player, all of it, dude. He's just exactly what you want out of a grown man playing football. Like, that's what it is. A Penn State alumni, like, all of it, man.
Yep.
Playing in Pennsylvania now, so.
But I'm going to go through some of the stuff we talked about, Brett. Is there anything particular that stands out to you that you want to talk about?
I was actually thinking earlier, and I was like, because it's a dead period, I was kind of trying to think of something new. And
yeah, you said it's February, right? That nothing really happens. I think the players can still practice, right?
Well, they're going to be doing winter workouts, so I don't really know. I'm sure they're throwing the ball around and stuff, but I don't know what else they're really doing right now. Okay, so what now Jim Knowles was talking about is this is going to be a lot of sitting down, other than the winter workouts, like meetings and meeting with the players, and talking about a new system and trying to start the process early on getting the chemistry down, with the players and the coaching and all that. So. The good thing is Coach Dex and Terry Smith and Deion Barnes and the whole assistant staff, Jim Knowles brought them up a few times, and you could tell Dex had a big part in this. He was reaching out to Jim Knowles, and he let them know that I'm staying here, and you saw that, how Dex was like, I'm staying here. He's signing a new contract. So the chemistry seems to be going very well already. And that's huge because that's exactly what ended up not being the case for Ohio State. So he left because the chemistry wasn't there. Yeah, he won a natty, but you want to be happy and win a natty. You don't want to be like arguing with people and things not going the way as planned or the way you want to, and dealing with that extra stuff on your mind. So to be happy and win a natty, let's do it, man. Plus, he won it for the wrong team. He knows that. Coming back home to PA, man.
Exactly. He needs to win one here now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think James Franklin should be fired if they don't win the national title, but definitely got to ask some questions. I mean, that's the gist of our conversation right now. Yep. Just to go through some stuff here, 2024 college football losers with the best shot at winning it all in 2025. Texas, Arch Manning. Quinn Ewers, is he going to the draft or what's he doing?
Quinn Ewers? I guess. I think he said he was.
Can you Google that real quick?
Yeah, let me see.
All right, so Texas, Arch Manning, he's the real deal. I want the Steelers to get him in the draft. Penn State is 2. Georgia's 3. They got a good young quarterback. Oregon's 4. I don't know who their quarterback is.
Oregon's going to be Dante Moore. Remember, Dante Moore was he was a freshman a year or so ago. He transferred once or twice.
Is that the kid we were supposed to get?
He visited us. I think he was at UCLA. Let me see here. Yeah, Ewers, and so Ewers is entering the draft.
Okay.
Which is funny, but yeah.
Notre Dame's number 5, most likely to make a big game and get blown out. Clemson, I guess Klubnik's back.
Yeah, Klubnik had a good year, man. He's going to be dangerous this year.
Nico, Tennessee.
He was Klubnik was the same top QB as Aller, so same class.
Arizona State does not count. Neither does SMU. Neither does Indiana. Nope.
Well, maybe.
So, all right. So I'll take my list. I'll make my list here. Notre Dame's not even in the top 50. Probably us number 1, Texas 2. I'll say Tennessee 3, Georgia 4. I guess Oregon 5, Clemson 6. Notre Dame could make it anywhere, but they're going to lose, so freaking clown school. All right. Chip Kelly goes to the Raiders. Brett's team. I just had a Chiefs fan on doing a Super Bowl pregame show live. Chris Collier, who I spoke to yesterday. Currently third string running back on the Raiders. He's going back to Vegas on Monday to talk to his team. Got Chip Kelly too, Pete Carroll. I'm pulling for the Raiders, man. I am, because of Chris, and I'm supposed to have him on. He's supposed to come on here for me soon. Once he gets settled back in Vegas and everything, gonna bring him on for an interview.
Those are good coaching upgrades.
Yeah, exactly. And I was texting him today. We were talking a little bit and talking about the rivalry between the Steelers and the Ravens. He had a good mentor in Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. And I'm kind of pulling for the Ravens too, even though obviously when we play them, that's a different story. But they're just good character guys. Lamar's a great guy. Derrick Henry's a great guy. Chip Kelly, good college coach. Pete Carroll, great college coach.
Yeah.
Both, and an NFL coach, both going to the NFL again. And then, I was going to text and be like, yeah, you guys just need a quarterback, but I don't want to say that to him because that's his teammate. But,
yeah.
Sounds like the Steelers are getting rid of Ross. Ross might go there, which have fun with that, Brett. But, yeah, they need a quarterback, man, the Raiders. And, but I just texted Chris. I said, you got another great mentor in Amir Abdullah, Nebraska. He was real nice at Nebraska, number 8. So he's got another great mentor there. And Amir. So I'm glad that Chris is. I'm excited for him, man. I'm excited for him. I'll be happy to have him on. Ohio State sucks, and they lost Chip Kelly, Jim Knowles, and Justin Fry. They got Tyler Bowen from Penn State, former Penn State coach.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even remember that until you reminded me, but he was there during Franklin's early days, I think.
2018, so midway through. Yep.
Way too early college football All-America team. Cade Klubnik, Jeremiah Love, Nick Singleton. Vega's on there.
Yep, we got Vega. 2 Penn State players. Nobody else can say that.
Freaking tight end from Ohio State. Whatever. Ryan Williams, Jeremiah Smith. Yep.
And he was actually from Purdue. Max Clare.
Caleb Downs, Rod Moore, Leonard Moore.
Well, this is wrong because Zane Durant's not on it, so it's obviously wrong.
Well, yeah, Zane Durant, freaking Tony Rojas, Key Wheatley, AJ Harris.
Yep.
Does that ring a bell to you guys? Over under win totals. Pretty interesting. We're over 10.5 now. We're usually 9.5. So that's
Usually
pretty cool.
9.5. Yep.
I think we hit that for sure.
Yeah.
I do, man. I mean, even with Oregon and Ohio State, I think we can beat them both. And we were just talking about the Chiefs and the refs on the Super Bowl pregame show. And, at the end of the day, man, like, we're not going to get any calls our way against Ohio State. So we just got to win. That's it.
Yep, that's it.
I think the 6.5 for Iowa, that's the amount of points they're going to score all season next year.
Yep.
Saquon was almost traded to the Bills or the Bears.
Which is interesting to see because I heard that he wanted to go to the Texans too, because
it would have been a good fit for him.
It would have been a good fit. It would have been weird
Eagles,
seeing him there.
The Eagles have so much talent, man, and he would have been sharing the backfield with Joe Mixon too.
Yeah.
But
he beats women. So. Dude sucks. I hate Joe.
By the way, I
Mixon.
think I figured out the sound, man.
Yeah.
We hired Albany head coach Greg Gattuso as a defensive line consultant. He will work with DC, Jim Knowles, and Deion Barnes, obviously.
Apparently, we had him before. I'd have to look up when, but apparently he was at Penn State before. So
yeah,
that's a connection.
Yeah.
He was with us
He
before.
looks like a football coach, man.
Yeah, let's look it up. Let's see when he was with us.
That guy eats cheeseburgers, and I love it.
Yep. Greg Gattuso. So, Wikipedia. Let's see here. Listen to this, man. He was a GA at Penn State in 1984. How sick is that?
Did he play
1980?
He didn't play at Penn State.
He was a GA. He was a graduate assistant. Wait, he was a defensive lineman at Penn State, 81 to 83. Okay.
That's what I thought. Yep.
So he's a true alumni Penn State guy, man.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so he's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So he's a PA guy. Played 81 to 83. Was a GA assistant in 84. Then he coached at some smaller schools, and he made it back. Okay, so this is his first time coaching at Penn State since the graduate assistant. Okay. He was at Pittsburgh for a couple of years, and Maryland, he was there. Nice, dude.
Someone said, well, Deion Barnes, he didn't even spell his name right. Keep his position. Yes. If you can read, it says consultant right there.
I comment. Yeah, look at my comment. It's under there. It's the same type of thing as an assistant, as a consultant.
Someone asked him, does it read assistant or consultant?
Yeah.
Even if he's an assistant, that's still, he can be a defensive line assistant. Doesn't mean
exactly. Yeah, he didn't read it.
People just don't pay attention. Michigan just signed one of the best classes in program history. The Wolverines signed 7 top 100 recruits, most since 2017. Michigan signed Bryce Underwood, the number 1 player in the nation. 2 of the top offensive tackles, top 10 offensive tackles. 2 top 10 safeties.
We almost had Winston.
Number 4 edge in 25. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Winston is cousins with KJ Winston, by the way. So really sucks we didn't get him, but that's okay. We stole their tight end, and Rolish, so it's okay.
Number 6 class. Well, so is Michigan getting? They're not getting any sanctions or anything. Because they did cheat. I mean.
No, I think they're getting them. It's just in the works. It's taken forever.
Right. Well, it says it will continue to trend upwards until they get the death penalty. So.
Yeah.
They'll
lose 4 games this year, 4 or 5.
Marshall Falk was hired at Colorado.
It's a big hire.
He was on the Jason Whitlock podcast with Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp, not the biggest fan of him. He's kind of a clown. Don't really like him too much. But he was on the Jason Whitlock podcast with Warren Sapp talking about how they were talking about religion, and Warren Sapp and Marshall Falk were both kind of making fun of Jason Whitlock for his religion.
Yep.
Which, isn't cool. I don't like that. I'm a believer in God, so is Brett. And regardless, man, like, that's just bad karma. You don't make fun of God.
Yeah.
That's just Pat McAfee kind of does it a little bit sometimes. And he had freaking Browns quarterback, Jameis Winston on yesterday, and they were like joking around, and Jameis Winston literally said a prayer live on the show. Because I think he kind of thought, I'd have to look at it again, but it's almost like they were joking about praying, and then he actually prayed. So Marshall Falk, I mean, as great a player as he was, if he's kind of, that's his attitude and stuff, like, I don't know if that's the best coach to have.
Yeah.
Obviously not every coach is religious, but it's like, dude, if you have that kind of like mentality and you're around kids, like, I don't know. But so I'm not the biggest fan of Marshall Falk either. Hold on. Brett, can you hear this? Like I said, I think I figured out the sound. You hear that?
Don't worry, Grandma. Everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Look at this place. Silver Acres Rest Home. Oh, it looks more like a country club than a nursing home. Nice grass, nice people. And I hope you brought your bathing suit. I'm telling you, this place is perfect. You're gonna make friends in no time. Get me out of here! Don't worry, Grandma. Everything's gonna be all right.
That was Saquon Barkley before he went to the Eagles, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was nice and loud. It worked.
There's some stuff that we send to each other that is not worth sharing.
Yeah.
Dude,
Was it you who sent me the one about Warren Sapp? He was saying about the top 3 or top 5 picks for the NFL draft, and somebody was like, "What about Abdul? Who was the?" Somebody was like, "What about Abdul Carter?" And he was like, "When's the last good pass rusher come out of Penn State?" And dude was like, "Micah Parsons. What are you talking about?" And he got up and walked away. Like,
who said that?
It was Warren Sapp. Almost somebody. Let me find out.
I sent you that.
It was either you or somebody. I don't think it was you.
Send it to me and I'll play it.
I don't think I did. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Let me find out who sent that.
Yeah, how about several people?
Who would have sent me that?
What?
It could have been. It might have been my buddy Micah, actually.
Micah Parsons. I mean,
Arnold Ebiketie, like even like a couple years ago.
Chop Robinson.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
well, it's so new.
I don't know what he means. Top pass rusher out of Penn State, but Courtney Brown, LeVar Arrington, like, what?
Well, Warren Sapp.
Like, what the hell is he talking about?
Who's?
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's the brightest, but.
Well, it wasn't him.
Freaking James Harrison was getting threatened by Ocho Cinco. Ocho Cinco's a moron. Dude, I'm going to play that. Well, no, I better not. It's got some language.
You know what? It might have been on. It might have been on Landon's story. I don't know. I'm trying to find out who sent it. Maybe it wasn't sent to me.
But Ocho Cinco was threatening James Harrison, saying he would kick his butt. And
Yeah.
it's like,
it's crazy.
What? Are you serious right now? Like, the man, like, lifts cars regularly. But I'm not going to play it. It's got language. I don't want to play it. But, yeah, we,
Do you follow Jack off from Barstool? Probably not. He's actually he's pretty funny. You would actually like this one. 1 second.
Send it to
I don't think I sent you this one.
I'm not a big,
I'm
not a big Barstool guy.
Well, yeah, but it's about Trump's team. Like it's like the blonde team. It's like all these blonde girls. It's funny. Here it is.
Something that makes sense. And one of those things that just makes sense is Trump having a point.
I sent it to you.
Yeah, he has a lot of. It's unavailable, so I must have blocked him. Who is it?
Jack Mack, college football. He's actually pretty funny.
I think I blocked him. Yeah.
I like him. Yeah, I think he's all right.
But yeah, he literally has like beautiful women everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Even that one girl on the Trash View, she's like freaking 10. She was in his cabinet. I forget her name, but whew. And then watching the NFL Honors the other night, Snoop Dogg made a joke about he's like, I remember the last time when the Cowboys were good. And Bill Belichick's girlfriend wasn't even born yet.
No. He said the Chiefs were bad. He said,
yeah, the Chiefs were bad.
bad.
Steelers were, I think he said Steelers were so good. But, yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Maybe I can play this video. It's pretty funny.
I'm sorry, but her whole, she sold her
Bill
soul.
Belichick's
She's a pretty girl.
She sold her soul. But
girlfriend wasn't even born yet. Bill Belichick's girlfriend wasn't even born yet.
Tabloid thing.
What was
She
it?
sold her soul for money.
Bill Belichick's girlfriend wasn't even born yet.
But yeah, and
what was it?
Anthony and I were like,
Snoop
how did he pull that? You know what I mean?
He didn't. That's what I mean. Like he didn't pull her, man. Like she pulled him. I mean, I don't know. There's just no. Think of it. It's not physical. It's not possible, dude. Like the dude's 70, right? She's 24, 27. I don't know. Like
I think she's like 23. She's young.
Yeah,
man.
it's like,
very
dude,
young.
like that's not a possible. Like that's not her fetish. She likes money. Dude's got a
I
crap
guess.
ton. That's what it is.
She likes rings too, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, she was wearing one of the.
He was wearing like he has
rings.
what 8 rings?
Something like that.
He was wearing them all at the honor show, dude.
Yeah.
They didn't show his hand, but my goodness.
She was wearing one too.
A Super Bowl ring.
Yeah. One of them. She was wearing one of the football rings. Yeah.
Well, between the Super Bowl ring and the Heisman Trophy, like between those two things, man, just tell a girl that, you know, you're good. But I don't know, man. Is there anything else you want to talk about? It's again, I don't think it's make or break for Franklin next year, but there will be some heat, man. His seat will get hot for sure.
We need the next step to happen now, dude, because we took steps last year. Like we looked better certain parts of the season, and like we fought. You know, we fought harder than we have in a couple years, and we just need to keep. It's small things, man. Like one or two plays a game, like that changes. And we've made game changing plays, like against Ohio State, a pick 6. There's your game changing play, and then you get down to the goal line and you can't get it in, man. You can't get a touchdown. So small things, man. We're at the 1 yard line. You know what I mean? Like that's all it is. And we have the upper hand against some of these teams next year because of the experience we have coming back. because of the senior players and because of the coaching staff. So there's no reason to make excuses anymore. There's no reason to justify it. Penn State's time is now. And like you said, 2026, there's going to be a little bit of a drop-off. Hopefully it's not substantial, but you can't expect people to be absolutely loaded every year unless they're putting insane amount of money into their roster, like Ohio State and teams like that. And even Ohio State, they weren't able to go to the portal. Listen, like they just had to play in the Natty, right? Which that's great. You won the Natty, but that portal window, they didn't get anybody. Think about it. Who did they get? They didn't get anybody from the portal. So for next year, who they have is who they got right now. Other than the spring portal, they can get somebody, but the spring portal is not going to be. It's not going to be great pickings. It's not going to be supreme players. It's not. It's going to be, there might be some good players in there that you can get, but Ohio State already has high 4 and 5 stars on the team. They're not going to go get some 3-star guy out of the portal and hope that they can make a step with their team. It's just not going to happen. So Penn State's going to get a few guys, but we're not just going to get guys like we talked about. We're only going to get guys that can make our program better and make sense. So we have plenty of young guys who are going to step up soon enough. So we're not going to get some younger guy that, oh, he might be good. Like, Davian Collins a couple years ago. We got him at the perfect time because now he's able to flash. We don't need it to get anybody like that right now because we're loaded with our recruiting right now. So.
Yeah, man. I mean, just the roster, who we brought in, all of it. I mean, we're in really good shape. And I'm really happy with where we're at. So,
one more receiver. We get one more.
Yeah. Do you think we get 2 in the spring, like Matt said?
It's possible, but I don't know. I don't think we'll get 2, to be honest. I mean, we could.
Yeah.
But are there 2 solid ones to get though? I don't know. We're gonna try.
I'd be shocked if we don't get 2 all-conference receivers, and I'm like, man, I hope you're right.
If we would have got. In the first portal window, we would have pushed harder to get 2 all-conference receivers because they have more time to develop in your program. Getting them in the spring it's more, you're taking more of a chance then because are they going to be ready to go? Maybe not. So the spring wide receiver portal for us, we need a guy with more time under their belt in the program. It's going to be hard. We could get guys, but are they going to be ready to go? There's no Casey Concepcions or Eric Singleton from Georgia Tech that went to Auburn. Like, there's none of these guys are going to be in the spring portal window. These people that are coming to the spring portal are guys who the program they're in, they're most likely not going to start, so they're leaving. We'll see. I didn't tell them I agreed with it. So, I mean, if we do, I'll be surprised. I'll be pleasantly surprised, and I'll be happy. But like I said, I think we get 1. If we get 2, we're going to have to really believe that they're legitimate receivers. We're not just going to grab 2 guys to grab 2 guys. Because having bodies is not the issue. So we'll see.
I mean, we do have 2 receivers in the portal, like you said, but we definitely need more.
Yeah. Like I said, Tyser Denmark can step up. There's a couple other guys who might be able to get involved. I think if we get 1 more, I'll feel more comfortable. You know what I mean? If we don't end up getting 2 and just get 1, I'll feel good about it. If we get 2,
need
then
at least 1.
We need at least 1. We do. Yeah. We'll see.
All right, man. You have anything else to say?
No. I think we covered it.
All right, guys. Again, I'll probably play this live, even though we're not live. So comment. I'll be on so I can answer your questions. But I'll answer all your comments if you do comment. So, all right, Brett. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yep. Have a good night. See you guys.
See you guys.